Hey guys, and welcome back to Pixel Cherry Ninja's channel. It's the weekend, which means only one thing. It's time for our weekly news roundup. As always, we will begin with FPGA gaming news, the MiSTer, the Analogue Pocket, and well, any other FPGA gaming news that's out there. After that, we'll move over to some random and retro gaming stuff. So guys, timestamps have been made available, so use those to navigate your way around the video. If you're not subscribed to the channel, then a subscription and a like is always super duper appreciated. If you wish to support the channel further, hey, you can become a member or support me over on Patreon. As well as that, let's not forget to check out the sponsor of the weekly news show, Zapparoo, and we've got some good info about that because Anime Otaku has made something that makes Zapparoo even easier than it already is. And finally guys, check out London's best arcade, that's right, Free Play City. Starting this week with an update to some of Hatego cores, in particular some Konami games. So in a nutshell guys, there were some sound issues with some of the Konami cores like X-Men. Last week, or was it 2 weeks ago, the release of Premier Soccer, and as well as that for Run and Gun. Now initially the sound would be okay, but as you progress through the game, sometimes you'd start hearing like different noise. The sound wasn't quite there. Now this is quite a beefy sound chip, the K054539 from Konami. Vertec published the schematics for it, but it was very hard to understand. But Hatego and his team have been dedicated to working on this, and in this latest update you will see some sound improvements for X-Men, as well as that Premier Soccer, as well as that Run and Gun, maybe some other Konami titles potentially in the future as well. But guys, this is really amazing. Hatego and his team's work, their kind of dedication to producing everything as accurate as possible, going back to revisit stuff and to fix it. A lot of this stuff is not difficult to do on a hardware level, kind of like recreating that hardware in FPGA is always a mission, but honestly it's really nice to see Hatego and his team's dedication just revisiting this stuff and seeing the improvements. So this weekend, if you're going to try some stuff out, maybe try X-Men or Premier Soccer and Run and Gun. Maybe one of those tickles your fancy. Out of those three, X-Men really is my main jam out of those, but check it out, and the sound should be a heck of a lot closer to the arcade now. Caliber 50, this is an arcade favorite of mine, something that I'm very much looking forward to, and I think that's one of the things with MiSTer. There's a lot of games I played in the arcade that are so much enjoyed, and it's really nice to get them in FPGA now. So after making the CPU required for Caliber 50, the next item needed in that core is the PCM chip. But this one is a lot easier than the Konami one that Hatego and his team implemented for the titles such as X-Men that we just kind of spoke about. So hopefully we will get a beta of this soon. I personally can't wait. It's a banger of a game. Hatego does speak about the NEO-GEO Pocket and the NEO-GEO Pocket color core. So this is a core that's definitely, without a doubt, given Hatego and his team a lot of difficulty. Now bear in mind, Hatego and his team mainly do arcade games, so with arcade games you don't really need features like saving. I mean, you go to an arcade, I remember going to the arcade, you can have the best score you ever got, you're proud of it, and when the arcade owner turned off that arcade machine and you came in the next day, there was no memory of your higher score. And you know, you didn't really have digital photography back in the arcade days. You had to get a camera, take a picture, go get it developed to kind of have any record of it. So Hatego and his team aren't very familiar with adding saves to games, so this is a learning process for them. However, in the latest Patreon post, Hatego does say that they estimate around 2 weeks in getting this core up and ready, including save support for the MiSTer and likely an additional week to bring it over to the Analogue Pocket. Now when it comes to playing the NEO-GEO Pocket and the Pocket Color, I only want to play it on the Analogue Pocket. It's a handheld system. I want to play it on a handheld device. I'm not really interested in playing this on a MiSTer, even though I know many of you guys are the opposite to me. I have a bias towards handheld gaming. You guys like playing it on a big screen. But either way, Hatego and his team haven't forgotten about this, but it is a big challenge for them. And I wish them the best, and I really want them to get this up and running. I want them to get this going because, hey, you can't play SNK, Capcom, card fighters for 300 hours without saving. I'm talking about you, Jesus Fish. Anyway guys, good things to come with the NEO-GEO Pocket and the NEO-GEO Pocket Color from Hatego and his team. So fantastic news here for players or users of the CPS1 and the CPS2 core. So Hatego addresses the issue regarding the speed because It recently got an update where the speed is definitely closer to the arcade PCB. I think Super Turbo is very, very close, but CPS1 might still be a little bit out. In particular, the titles I'm talking about is Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo on CPS2 and Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting, which you're seeing on screen now for CPS1. So Hervieux says in his latest Patreon post, the CPS cores still need a bit of re-architecturing to guarantee accurate speed under all conditions. This work will require around 1 or 2 weeks of effort and may only affect a couple of games. But because this core is very important to like the gaming scene, or in particular the FGC, the fighting game community, Hervieux and his team will do it. Now, some of these changes most people won't feel. Honestly, I don't feel these speed inaccuracies, but I'm not a pro player. Some people, they want it exactly one-to-one like the hardware, and Hervieux and his team are dedicated to bringing that because this is really, really important. Hervieux makes a mention of CPS3 in his latest Patreon post, and CPS3 is a banger of a core. It's my most desired core. Yes, there's stuff like JoJo's Adventure or JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, as well as that we've got Red Earth, also known as Varzard, I think. But the game that I really want for this is this one here, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, which is the third and the final game in the Street Fighter 3 series, and it is the best 2D fighter out there. No, you will never ever change my mind. I know it's opinion, but that's my freaking opinion. So he goes on to say about CPS3 that they're currently at the architecture design step, so they can't share anything concrete at the moment, but the work done with Run and Gun was important to show the limits of the SD-RAM architecture of the MiSTer. And what he kind of mentioned about CPS1 and CPS2, the accuracy of the speed is related to SD-RAM congestion. So Hervieux is a little bit concerned, a little bit worried about whether everything will run nicely or not in regard to CPS3. Him and his team are exploring this further. I really do hope it fits on the MiSTer. There are no issues with the MiSTer. We don't need a more powerful FPGA. I mean, don't get me wrong, guys. I want the next gen of FPGA gaming. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be good for the channel and I'll enjoy playing it. However, with so many MiSTer users out there and so many more people coming over to MiSTer, I really want CPS3 to be the final step, right? That cherry on top, the one that completes my arcade love. But I guess we'll see what happens. Hervieux is someone that develops stuff for multi-systems, so he doesn't have like an allegiance to a particular system. He will bring out cores for as many FPGA gaming systems as possible. So let's see what happens, and hopefully this thing can fit on the bloody MiSTer. We have a new toe plan game available both for the MiSTerFPGA and the Analogue Pocket, and this time it's Flying Shark, known as Sky Shark in America. It's a vertical shmup from 1987 developed by Toe Plan. Guys, this is a difficult game. Seriously, it's very, very difficult. In this dedicated video, I'll talk about how I played this in the arcade once, and I never played it again because I died so quickly I didn't see it as value for money due to my own lack of skill. But if you can once see this game or you're good at this game, then let me know in the comments below, but I find it very, very difficult. It's available via the updaters or update all on the MiSTer, or something like Pupdate on the Analogue Pocket, and the developers behind this are the Coin-Op Collection. You guys all know Raki, or soon it will be Dr. Raki, an absolutely amazing developer that has brought us a number of cores to the MiSTerFPGA, including stuff like the Konami bubble system. So over here, they've got a public Patreon post where they say, my paper has been accepted for HPCA 2026. Look, congratulations, Raki, or I'll be calling you Dr. Raki soon because you're going to have that PhD. Absolutely amazing. So they can't do core development because they're away from their desk, but they are looking into silicone tracing because that is essential work. So absolutely amazing. Just wanted to put this in there because Raki is freaking amazing. I wish you all the best, and whatever you do, you know I'll be keeping an eye on your work. Let's now talk a little bit about the SuperStation 1. If you want more details, guys, check out this video. I'll link it in the list of sources over on Metal Game Solid. But Taki Udon has been providing updates regarding the SuperStation 1 over on his Discord server. There's an invite link for the Discord server in this video if you do want to join it. And he kind of speaks about this new menu. This is a retro menu, or known as the retro menu, and it's based on, or it has an RPG aesthetic. Now, you're not going to hear the sound in here. Do check out the other video if you want to hear the sound, but the sound is from like Final Fantasy VII, I'm sure of it, right? And it looks like you're selecting like whatever, you know, your attack, your spells, or your items, or whatever all that stuff is in an actual RPG. Now, Taki goes on to speak about the colors, the different colors. So we know initially transparent blue has gone out, but gray and black should be coming in the next week or so, and they should be going out to customers as well as that the Super Dock, they're going to get like 100 sample models to go out, or like an initial run of 100 to go out some customers, as well as that Taki has got himself another facility, so extra office space as well as additional staff, so your orders can go out there quicker. But do let me know what you think of this kind of menu. Do you prefer like the menu that he showed originally, you know, the one with the black aesthetic? Almost looks like an analog menu, but a little bit different to that. Or do you prefer this one? I've got to be honest, I do like this one. It really does remind me of like going through menus in a bloody game. Absolutely amazing. So good work from Taki. Hopefully the different colors will start shipping soon. Super Docks will start shipping soon, and all you guys, including myself, can start enjoying the SuperStation 1. Absolutely amazing. Big update from Taki. If you want to watch this actual video, I'll leave it linked. Go check it out. You might find it very interesting. So if you're wondering why there's not been many articles in the last 2 days over on Metal Game Solid, it's because me and Anime Otaku, the main people behind the site, we do also have other writers, but the main contributors are myself and Anime Otaku. Anime Otaku has gone down a rabbit hole with this whole NFC card, but he's come out with some really good results and some software that benefits all. Me personally, I've been going down a GDEMU Dreamcast rabbit hole, and I'm still down that rabbit hole. That's why I'm filming this video late and I'm not getting anything else done, but I do hope to get my Dreamcast stuff done, so hopefully I'll be able to do a stream later tonight. Make sure you guys come along and say hello. Dreamcast is freaking awesome. But what has Anime done here? So NFC Reader Generator, a practical tool for easy NFC cards. So I was speaking to Anime during the week. He's the best CTO a man can ask for. So over here, what he did was creating these cards is super easy now. Like initially he went with this kind of Python application, and then it ended up being a Windows application with a graphical user interface, a GUI that's just very easy to use. Now from what I understand, it's pretty much just drag and drop, but it uses assets like Steam Grid DB to pull your assets. So if you put your game in there, now Steam Grid doesn't just do Steam games, it also does your retro games, your Super Nintendo, your PlayStation, whatever the heck you want, right? You can also do movies because it's got that over here. The movie database, right? TMDB, the movie database. So if you want to do your movies, you want to put Goodfellas on there, it will find that for you. I think the only thing that you need to do yourself is actually put in the system logos yourself, but there is a folder of those available over on Anime Otaku's GitHub. But again, absolutely amazing. You want to get these cards, you want to print these off, you want to make these for yourself. Well, it has never ever been easier with this little app that Anime Otaku has made with a brilliant graphical user interface. Absolutely superb. So anyway, hopefully I'll come out of my rabbit hole. Anime Otaku is out of his rabbit hole, I think, unless he dives back in to make another improvement, and we can get some articles going on Metal Game Solid. But yeah, good stuff. NFC is just getting easier. The Zapparoo project is freaking amazing, and you've got people like Anime Otaku just making it more accessible and easier for the end user. So Heber a few days ago put out like a blog post over on their website, and it was very nice and informative. So the guys are back to work, back from their Christmas and New Year's break, and they've gone through a lot of MiSTer multi-system twos. There are a lot of happy customers out there. So yeah, they're currently working on level 10, I think. So order number, there you go, 12,501 to 13,500, and then they're going to move over to like level 14, which is up to 17,500. They do expect to get through the pre-orders, and around springtime they're kind of estimating that MiSTer multi-system twos will be on the shelf available to buy. That'd be really good, right? It's nice to have stuff available on shelf, and I always say it, I feel like the multi-system twos, the middle ground between the cheapest MiSTerFPGA options we have, like the Takyudon SuperStation 1, MiSTer Pi, the QM-Tech MiSTer, and the expensive ones that use an original DE10 Nano, something like MiSTer add-ons where you can get full sets, or just buying from Thoracic and buying all the components separately. So a good middle ground. A big advantage will come in for Heber when they can have it off the shelf, so you can think, oh, I want to play MiSTer, I don't care about the extra money, I'm just going to buy it and get it the next day. Because when you're pre-ordering something, you know, you have to wait for it, and that wait there, I want to get it cheap. I'll give you an example. I just bought a VGA cable. I was going to buy it on Amazon. A friend linked it to me, and it was like £19 from Amazon, and I would have got it today, right? Like same day delivery if I bought something for another £1, or I can buy it on AliExpress, and it was like £8, and it was exactly the same cable, no different, and I'm not in a hurry for it. And recently the stuff I've been getting off AliExpress has been coming to me like in like 5 days, 6 days. Most I've waited now is a week. But what Heber do go, oh sorry, Heber, I have to get the name right, Heber kind of go on to talk about this N64 snack adapter, a 4-player adapter that's available in their store. If that's something you want for your multi-system too, you want to get your friends around and play GoldenEye, good luck with those damn controls. They're so aged now, but hey, there's lots of games you can play 4 players, but the controls are still okay, like Mario Kart, for example. Anyway, kind of getting off point, but they've got big plans for 2026. They're engineering a lot of stuff, they're working on a lot of stuff. What I'm really interested in is 2 things. Seeing how cartridges can work on the MiSTer Multi-System 2 with a cartridge adapter. I know they kind of previewed or showed the Game Boy, I think it was the Game Boy DMG running on there, but it'd be nice to see other systems like the Nintendo 64, the Super Nintendo, the Mega Drive, having adapters and actually running your cartridges, not dumping them, but running them real time. So that's one thing to look forward to. The other thing to look forward to is this one over here, the MiSTer Multi-System 2 Jamma Edition. So something that can just go into your arcade machine, nice and easy with a Jamma extension. So that sounds really, really exciting. I would say I wish if I had an arcade machine or space for an arcade machine, because I'll definitely get one. I just don't have the space. But for those of you that do, I know you guys are excited about this, and this seems like a very, very good solution, something to look forward to in the future. So this is something that they're working on, and hopefully it will be out soon. Naturally, I'll try and keep you guys posted, but arcade is where it is, and it looks like the MiSTer Multi-System 2 are inserting themselves in a nice space to offer nice products that people actually want. The MiSTer Organized January update is now out. In fact, this was supposed to be in last week's video, but when I had it in my notes and I put it on one device, it didn't sync to the next one when I was shooting the video. So I'm just kind of covering it this week. So these guys are guys that are dedicated to making your MiSTer SD card organized. So if you want your games in genres, you want ROM hacks in separate folders, all kind of done with MGL files, these guys just organize your MiSTer. Now, this isn't something that is personally for me, because I've tried it, but I like the chaos that is my SD card. I have it a certain way and I like it. But if you are into organizing your stuff, you want all your no intro ROMs, you want your ROM hacks, you want your homebrew games, you want all this stuff like just kind of indexed in a nice kind of library type of way, then maybe you guys want to check this out. So yeah, they do monthly updates, and I like to give it a little mention because I know some people are really organized. Not like me, I am so unorganized. If you ever come to my live streams and you see the state of my SD card, well, I kind of know where everything is, but you guys may not figure out where everything is. Something that I like to mention in the weekly news video each and every time, which is test out the latest test builds and unstable nightlies. Even though the names suggest they're unstable, they really are not. Whenever I play them, I have no issues, and they usually are improvements that haven't been added to the update or cores yet. So the latest we've had in the last week is we've had 2 updates for the PlayStation core. Now the PlayStation core is a fantastic core, but occasionally like someone will find like a very, very minor issue, something in a menu, something with a color in a particular game, and those will get addressed on an individual basis and pushed out as a test build or an unstable nightly. So the PlayStation core has received 2 updates, and the Super Nintendo core, the SNES core that you're seeing in action here, probably an older one, not the latest version, has received 1 update. So guys, if you want to stay up to date with the latest and greatest, definitely test out those builds. In the weekly news video, there's always an invite to the MiSTerFPGA Discord server, and within there you will find the channels unstable nightlies and test builds. Check those out. Just remember, because sometimes people join and they say they can't find it. So when you first join the MiSTerFPGA Discord server, it will ask you what you're interested in, and when you put down that you're interested in testing out unstable and test builds, and then you will have access to that channel. It's not a private channel, but the MiSTerFPGA Discord server does have lots and lots of channels. So what it effectively does is it asks you, if you're not interested in that, it will just hide it for you so you haven't got a cluttered view. Me, I have said I'm interested in absolutely everything, so I see everything. So if you do test out any of the unstable cores, then let me know. By the way guys, if you've seen why Hagar's moving around really, really weird, it's because he is controlled by the computer. This is one of those games where to play 2-player you don't need a friend, but your friend Hagar just likes to walk at the end of the screen showing off his muscles. So this popped up on my feed on Blue Sky, and it's from Blue Shell. Blue Shell on Blue Sky. The color blue is what we're talking about, but that's not the color of the handle. I am colorblind, but that looks yellow to me and I kind of like it. So the time has finally come to share our Analogue Pocket P-Wing comfort grip design with the world. We are making a few small tweaks and then publishing the STOs for all to enjoy. Keep an eye on our printables page or this one for the release. Thank you for your support. So I imagine this was something that was sold before. I remember people talking about this one actually, saying it was very, very comfortable. I generally play like my Analogue Pocket in small sessions, and I play arcade games, so generally I have a decent experience with it. But if I was going to play it for a long time, then yeah, I would like a grip. So yeah, this one's going to be made available to all. So if you have access to a 3D printer, or you know someone that has one, you can print this for your Analogue Pocket. So Blue Shell, thank you very much. Well, the Dreamcast Sonic Mania really is coming home, and this is a joint project between Falco Gergis, Sonic Freak 94 and JN Martin. And Falco here in an expo says Sonic Mania Plus for the Sega Dreamcast finally has audio. Here's a 2-minute direct video capture of me playing the latest build of Sonic Freak 94's port on my actual DC to hype up the Blue Blur's epic comeback to the Sega console, where he has always belonged. So that's really good. I know there's been some further updates as well. I've seen some, I think, on JN Martin's channel, but this looks really good. Sonic Mania, out of like the newer Sonic games to come out, is absolutely fantastic. It's something I have for the Switch and on Epic, and you know what, guys, I look forward to playing this on the Dreamcast because I now have a Dreamcast and I absolutely love it. Yo, Ray, thank you for this expo. So Turtles in Time, TMNT Turtles in Time, SNES Disassembly. So that's really good because I've played, I think, was it Legend of Zelda, like a native PC port that was reverse engineered and then it was made as a native release for the PC. So really look forward to this stuff, and Turtles in Time will be a good contender because from what I remember, I don't think it runs at a full 60 FPS on the SNES. Correct me if I'm wrong, but hopefully it'll be nice and smooth and we'll get some nice quality of life updates. Very interested in this. The GitHub page is up, so hopefully we will get a PC port of this at some point in the future. Not exactly sure when, so good stuff. Love it. Just to put this on your radar, Magnavale Eternal Soul. So Eternal Soul is a gothic Metroidvania where you steal the souls of your enemies, explore the castle, find powerful items and abilities, fight against demonic creatures and learn the truth of your power. Guys, it kind of reminds me of like Circle of the Moon, the GBA Castlevania game. I like that game, by the way, guys, but I've always got a soft spot for these. Look at that flower thing, that was straight out of Symphony of the Night. And the save room. So this is interesting, something that I'm looking forward to. You can actually wishlist it on Steam now if you like. The page is available, it's up, so looking forward to playing this when it comes out. So guys, that wraps it up for this week. I certainly hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then a subscription and a like is always super duper appreciated. Be freaking awesome to one another. This is Pixel Cherry Ninja out.